My wife told her mom cheating wasn't dramatic, but she didn't know the man she cheated with was approving MY invoices because
It all started on an ordinary Tuesday morning at 10:12 a.m. when I discovered my wife had turned our living room into a casual crime scene minus the chalk outline, but with emotional murder in progress. I wasn't even trying to eavesdrop. I was just walking down the hall with my mug of coffee, the one household object that hadn't betrayed me, when Rachel S.'s voice floated out loud enough to make my soul evaporate. "I'm done with him, Mom. Completely done. And honestly, I don't know why he's so upset. Sleeping with my coworker is not that dramatic." My coffee mug paused in midair. My brain threw up a blue screen. Sleeping with her coworker? Rachel's mother, who has the personality of a tax audit, chimed in through speakerphone. "Oh, honey, finally. I told you that man was too plain. You deserve excitement, ambition. Someone who drives something nicer than that sad little car." And that was how I learned 3 things in 5 seconds. My wife was cheating, her mother approved. Apparently, my fully paid-off sedan was a moral failure. Rachel laughed like this was gossip and not the nuclear bombing of my marriage. "He's predictable, Mom. He makes pancakes the same every Sunday. Same plate, same fork. It's exhausting. Ma'am, that's called being a stable adult." 20 minutes later, Rachel floated into the kitchen, all perfect hair and professional energy, and said, "Evan, we need to talk." That's the sentence no husband has ever survived emotionally. She calmly explained she'd been having an affair with Carter, her coworker. He owned a Tesla and used words like visionary, a huge red flag. She wanted a clean divorce, said she'd already spoken to a lawyer, and handed me a folder of pre-printed paperwork. "Let's be adults," she said. "No drama. Just sign." So I did, not because I agreed, not because I was weak, but because I knew something she didn't. Rachel thought I was Evan Hayes, the predictable inventory manager who made 7-8K and drove a sedan. But Evan Hayes was just the disguise. What Rachel didn't know was that her boring husband had built an entire empire behind the scenes. 7 years earlier, 1 year before meeting her, I had founded Hayes Strategic Logistics, a consulting firm that managed supply chain compliance for large corporations. We were small but extremely high value, and my client list included tech companies, manufacturing firms, and, by a stroke of cosmic comedy, the giant conglomerate that owned Rachel's entire marketing agency. Meaning, her affair partners department literally signed off on invoices that paid me. Carter, the man she cheated with, had been approving my paychecks without knowing it. Hayes Strategic Logistics operated under a corporate shell, carefully structured by my attorney to protect my assets. The company owned our joint house, both vehicles, all investment accounts, all business assets. The very condo Rachel bragged about to her mom, we were renting our home from my company. She signed the lease without reading the header. Everything she thought was ours was legally mine long before she entered my life. And since my salary from the business had always been intentionally modest, Rachel believed we were comfortably average. In reality, last year alone the business cleared over $900,000. While she and Carter were sneaking off to hotels on her lunch breaks, I was being paid by her company to catch internal compliance problems. You couldn't write a better twist. Still, I didn't confront her. I didn't rage. I collected data. I analyzed her schedule, tracked expenses, reviewed GPS data, and built 3 spreadsheets titled Affair Timeline Updated Daily, Financial Leakage Due to Infidelity, Probability Forecast, Cheating Frequency, by the time. Her lawyer called me in for the asset division meeting. I had already prepared the real paperwork. Corporate ownership records. Pre-marriage asset documentation titles showing all property belonged to the LLCA lease with her signature on it. Her attorney walked in confident because Rachel told him I was a pushover. "Mr. Hayes," he said grandly, "your wife is entitled to half of all assets." "Absolutely," I said pleasantly. "Half of marital assets?" He smiled, relieved. "So let's list them. The house, vehicles, savings." "Oh," I interrupted, "none of that is marital property. It belongs to the company." His face fell like a bad souffle. "What company?" I slid the folder across the table. "Mine." Watching him read was the closest I will ever get to pure spiritual enlightenment. He went pale. He went silent. He went defeated. Need time, he whispered. I'll be billing your client for that, I replied.